Welcome back to the Sportiello Show. Today we're going to be going over the NFC Rookies that you need to keep your eyes on, starting with the NFC East and the New York Giants.
The Giants had one hell of a draft this year. I was really, really happy with what they did. Starting off hot, you take the first defensive player off the board, the best defensive player off the board.
Some would say the best player off the board.
Very, very arguably so. I mean, you go back, a lot of people aren't giving respect to Cam Ward. There's some question marks about Travis Hunter's ability to play both sides of the ball. And Abdul Carter is he's exactly what you want him to be. He's going to get after the quarterback. He's going to help your defensive line. And he's going to be the best edge rusher in this class for years to come.
I still remember when you text me saying, do not be surprised if the Titans take Abdul Carter number 1 overall.
Yep.
And that was before March.
Oh, yeah. I believed in him very, very heavily from the very beginning. I just think he's a freak athlete, and I know he hasn't really gotten the ability to show that in the preseason so far. His main highlight is him getting put on his ass by the Jets' offensive line tight end. But regardless, really, really talented player, and the Giants got a steal with the number 3 pick, which you can't say very often.
Let's talk about how he's going to fit into that rotation because they also have Brian Burns and another top 5 pick in Kayvon Thibodeau.
It's tough. It's tough to say that he's going to be out there all 3 downs when you have that much depth. And, I mean, not just the edge rushers, but you got Sexy Dexy on the interior. You drafted a guy like Darius Alexander. You have so much depth in that defensive line. You don't know how often he's going to be out there, but when he is, he's going to make plays.
Yeah, Sexy Dexy for sure.
Sexy Dexy.
Yeah, Abdul Carter's an absolute stud, but I think that the preseason MVP goes to Jackson Dart.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was in love with this guy from the very beginning. He was my number 1 quarterback by a long shot. No disrespect to Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward will be just fine. He's going to improve the Titans' offense, but Jackson Dart just has that something special.
Just real quick, did you see that 20-yard out pass that Cam Ward completed in week 3? Like, oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Like, there are so few quarterbacks in the world that can make that throw. So, not to derail the conversation, but very talented pick there. And, yeah, Jackson Dart is really proven a lot of NFL GMs to be fools.
To be very, very silly. He still went in the first round, but the Giants did have to trade up to go get him. How much does that affect you in the future? Tough to say right now, but you have a team ready to win.
I'll say that it's well worth it. I mean, like we just said, you got possibly the best player in the draft with your first pick.
Yep.
So you have nothing to lose. Why not go all in on the quarterback of the future? And even better when you can guarantee that his rookie year is going to be a redshirt year.
A learning year, which a lot of people said he needed. He'd never taken a snap under center. And now you're getting all that experience for a year plus. You're taking a route that much improves your ability as a future starter in the NFL. And I'm very excited to see what he does. But before we move on, I just want to mention Cam motherfucking Skattebo.
Woo! Cam Skattebo.
This kid is something else.
The best player in college last season. I don't care what anyone has to say about it.
Get your Heisman votes out of here. Cam Skattebo meant the most to his Arizona State Sun Devils. He does it all.
This image that we have here, that mean mug, this was a live photo. This is him running down the sideline, getting tackled. Helmet came off, mean mugging the audience, letting him know he is him.
Single-handedly almost beat the Texas Longhorns. Should have. That was a targeting call that never got called. Fuck them.
Sure was.
Let's move on to the Dallas Cowboys. Enough about the Giants. The Cowboys started their draft off with what some would say was a surprising pick, taking Tyler Booker with the 12th overall. Tyler is a very solid guard, arguably the best in the class. It was just a bit of a reach for a team that needed some wide receiver depth, maybe a new tight end, or focusing on the defensive line, which they got to in Donovan Ezraku. Donovan is a stud. He'll make an impact on that defensive line. He's going to stop the run, which the Cowboys had a really hard time with last year, along with Jay Toya, a 7th-round pick. Jay Toya is plugging up the middle of the field, especially in preseason and the OTAs. Loved what I've seen from him. And then our last guy on the Rookies to Watch list is Siobhan Revel Jr. Siobhan Revel struggled with some injuries throughout his college career, but I believe if he can overcome his injury history, he has the capabilities of being one of, if not the best corner in the class.
Ooh, love to hear that. I do want to touch back on the Tyler Booker pick real quick because you mentioned it. Tight end need. could have been addressed there.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Warren went 14th overall.
Yes, he did.
However, taking a look at the Cowboys' offensive line, what once was a dominant force in the NFL
Mm-hmm.
has been dismantled.
Right.
They spent first-round picks on Tyler Smith,
Mm-hmm.
and now Tyler Booker. So back to
Tyler
back,
Guyton.
two Tylers.
Tyler Guyton as
Tyler
well.
Guyton as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your left tackle, your left guard, and your right guard.
Tyler Guyton would be the right tackle if he were healthy, or he would be the left tackle. You're right.
'Cause
It
Steele
guard,
is
it's
the
guard,
right
guard.
tackle.
Yes, and then Tyler Smith is the left tackle while Guyton is hurt. That was my mistake.
No worries, but what I'm saying is the Cowboys found the most success when they had a dominant offensive line. I don't knock them at all for possibly reaching to help improve that offensive line again.
We love the big boys.
Yep.
Never going to be upset with the first round offensive lineman.
And then they addressed their wide receiver need with Pickens too.
Yes, they did. And I love that duo between CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. Those are two very different styles of wide receiver.
It challenges the Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver duo for two of the best in the league.
Love that argument. That's actually a really good debate that we could have one day. With that being said, let's go ahead and move it on over to the Washington Redskins because that's what we're going to call them. It's our fucking show. The Redskins drafted Trey Amos in the first round. Trey Amos, lanky corner. The same problem with Maxwell Harrison, where he's very long, he's very fast, he's very good at playing the corner position. But if you get him in a one-on-one tackling situation, you might have some problems there. He's just not big enough to make those tackles out in the open field.
I think you're going to find that a lot with rookie corners, unfortunately. They are the frailer of the defensive side, and also in college, I don't think they spend too much time doing that unless it's like a screen pass.
Right. And then that's your entire responsibility is to go get them. Jalen Lane as well from Virginia Tech. I loved Jalen Lane, actually. Jalen Lane does not have the numbers, the stats that would blow you away, but he played at Virginia Tech. What did you expect? That quarterback's not slinging the ball. And we will touch, or we already did touch on the Virginia Tech running back who got drafted, which took away some touches from him. They also traded Brian Robinson Jr., which leaves not a big hole, but a big opportunity for Ja'Cory Croskin-Merritt to make an impact with his team, and he's looked damn good in preseason as well.
I would argue his impact in the preseason is why Robinson got traded.
That's a very good argument. I mean, you're probably right on that. Not too many draft picks overall, but these three, I think, will all make an impact in one way or the other.
Yeah, the thing with Ja'Cory is I believe he only played one game this past season, 24 years old, right? So a little bit older, but the film doesn't lie. And honestly, if you ask me, a lot of these guys who get drafted, they're so young, and it takes a few years to get into that mature NFL body. Like I think 24, 25 is really when athletes like fill into their size,
right.
and it's like this is what they're going to be through their NFL career. So with Crosky-Merritt, the Redskins know what they're going to get. They have a fresh contract. Why not ship off someone who's toward the end of their contract, ready for another one? They kept Austin Eckler, who was really like their go-to pass catching
receiving
back,
third down
right?
back.
So let Crosky-Merritt run between the tackles, run outside, bring in homeboy for passing situations, and we
absolutely
rock.
Never pay a running back.
Nope. And they have Deebo Samuel, who's half running back anyways.
I can't wait to see him in that offense, man. Let's move on to the Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl champ Philadelphia Eagles. Every goddamn year, this team ends up with one of the best players in the first round.
Yeah, it seems like they just fall to them.
Always.
And they're not afraid to take the best talent on the board. And they also are just very aware of taking talented players from talented schools.
So Jihad Campbell, arguably the best linebacker. Andrew Mukaba, arguably the best safety. And then Smile Mondin Jr. has been a wrecking ball this preseason. He is causing havoc all over the field. I'm very, very impressed with what they did with this fifth-round pick.
Touching on Mondin Jr. real quick, he's battling out his former teammate Nakobe Dean for that middle linebacker spot. Both Georgia Bulldogs. The only difference is Nakobe Dean is small.
I do love Nakobe Dean, though. He was the leader of that Georgia Bulldogs defense when they went back-to-back.
But this is the NFL.
I know.
And size matters.
Size absolutely does. And like I said, he's been the wrecking ball of that defense in the preseason. And I know, you're going up against second-string, third-string guys, but the tape is there. The instincts are there, and he's doing a damn good job of proving this team right. Anybody else you want to touch up on when it comes to the Eagles?
No, I think I'm satisfied with this team. They're very good. Only got better, honestly. So best of luck to the rest of the NFL.
Moving it to the NFC North, we got the Chicago Bears. Now, we touched on this last week. When you have all the tight ends at your disposal and you take a Colston Loveland over a Tyler Warren, it rubs me the wrong way. And I think that, Johnson gets in there. He's the new head coach. And he says, I want one of my guys, and Colston Loveland is my guy. That says a lot about Colston Loveland. I think he will be a very, very good receiving tight end. It's the blocking where I'm lost.
Certainly.
And I think tight end is one of those positions where if you can't block, you are not as useful as a player. It's the argument between would you rather have Travis Kelce or George Kittle? And I get it. Obviously, those are big names to live up to. But if you got a Tyler Warren who's going to be a George Kittle for the next 10 years versus a Colston Loveland who might be a little bit worse of a Travis Kelce for the next 10 years, you go with the George Kittle.
Tyler Warren just seems like a world beater right now, too.
Yes.
Like he seems he's about to be a Colt for life, like starting tight end for the next 20 years.
He's the man. I love him so much. But touching up on more of the Bears draft pick, Luther Burden III, stud.
Big fan of Burden. And honestly, for that team, he fits perfectly because you already have DJ Moore, who's in his athletic prime, 28 years old. You got Rome Odunze coming into year 2, and we know that year 2 wide receivers have the biggest potential to boom.
Yes.
And especially top 10 picks. And now you add a Luther Burden to fit in the slot between those two studs, and you have Colston Loveland on the other slot if you want. Like, shout out to Ben Johnson and the Bears because this offense is looking a lot of fun.
No excuses, Caleb Williams. No excuses. If you can't figure it out this year, it might be time to cut ties. And I know it's early, but goddamn, dude. And then let's touch on Shamar Store real quick. Or, my apologies, Shamar Turner. Twitchy, explosive, fun to watch, especially in the run game. Tweener measurables between edge rusher and linebacker, but I think they will put him on the defensive line to help them out. He's got violent intentions.
Oh, yeah. I trust any defensive tackle coming from the SEC.
Yes. Take it on over to Green Bay. I love Matthew Golden, man.
Matthew Golden gets a lot of Antonio Brown comparisons, and I don't think that's fair because AB is one of the GOATs.
He's one of them ones. And I mean, not to say Matthew Golden can't be. First-round talent, should have arguably gone higher than what he was, but that's a lot of pressure to put on a rookie wide receiver.
We talked about Scadaboo almost beating Texas. Matthew Golden almost single-handedly beat ASU in that second half.
Yes. No, he was such a problem down the field, in the slot. You could play him anywhere. And in preseason as well, he's making ridiculous catches. He's doing what he's doing what he got signed to do. I love everything I see from him. He was my number 2 wide receiver coming out of the class, behind someone we will get into a little bit later. But Savion Williams, crowded wide receiver room. He's going to be in a lot of gadget plays. But when he's in there, he has that home run potential that I don't think a Jaden Reed or a Christian Watson has.
I have heard Jaden Reed might possibly be on the trading block, and it could be because of how well Golden is playing. And, they also have, like you said, a packed wide receiver room.
So many wide receivers. And then, you got Brian Sorrell as well. Stops the run really well, uses his hands better than most. It was weird that he went to the draft as like a 4th-round pick, but he got drafted by the team that hosted it, so it was all good.
Well, maybe him and Matthew Golden were homies, and he just like tagged along as like a guest, and they were like, "Hey, this guy's actually in the draft.
Get him out here! Get him out here now!" All right, let's take it to the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes.
J.J. McCarthy is on this list.
Yes.
He is not a rookie, but this is our goddamn show, and we make the rules.
That's right.
J.J. McCarthy did not start last year. He broke his ankle or something along those lines. Interesting. I'm very interested to see how he does in this offense, especially with how well Sam Darnold did last year.
Extremely. I mean, the league was ready to give up on Sam Darnold.
Yes.
And now he has a contract that's going to change his life, his family's life. He has an opportunity to stay in Seattle. And J.J. McCarthy had an entire year to be in that quarterback room, be in the locker room, understand football, learn from a guy like Sam Darnold who's been around the block at this point, even as a young man. I'm excited for J.J. McCarthy. He comes from Michigan, right? So already an NFL offense.
Yes. Yeah.
You talked about Jackson Dart was never under center. This guy was probably strictly under center.
Always handing the ball off.
Hand the ball off on first and second down, pass on third and long.
It's important. It's important. You don't realize how important it is until you're fumbling those snaps and you're muffing the handoffs.
Also, reading the defense.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's a huge thing as a quarterback, and to be able to sit in the background and absorb all that knowledge, like you said, especially as a young quarterback, because I believe he was 21 years old when he got drafted. Ty Felton gets to replace a Jordan Addison for the first couple weeks of the season with that suspension that got slapped onto him.
Smooth route runner.
Very, very much so. Liked him a lot. And then Ingram Dawkins is just a freak athlete. Be on the lookout for him. He's going to make plays, especially when he rotates in on the defensive line.
Hey, I mean, you get a edge rusher out of Georgia in the 5th round. I don't care how his college production was. I trust them Bulldogs.
I trust the SEC. They make some bad men down there. Moving on over to the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions always take that player in the first round where nobody really expects it, but it just always kind of works out for them. Especially recently, I should say.
Recently, yeah. Maybe not always.
Yes.
Is
yeah.
a dysfunctional organization overall. Great success recently.
Whenever they got that new GM that
Yes.
we were discussing before the podcast.
2021.
He's making some really, really good moves. But no disrespect to Tyleik Williams. I think he's a stud. I think he's very good at plugging up the middle. Should be a great run-stuffing defensive tackle. And the Lions already got a defensive line with a lot of those guys.
Yeah, the D-line is crowded, so we're not expecting this dude to come in and be a world beater right off the bat, but when you're picking 28th and you have Super Bowl expectations, you shouldn't be drafting players in the first round that are really going to be expected to start. And if they are, that's great, but if you're able to just add great depth and then develop these players into starters, that's even better.
That's exactly what he is. And then we got an Isaac Tesla who looks fucking awesome.
Yes, he does.
He looks great.
No, he does. You're right.
And I mean, in a wide receiver room that there's a lot of potential to move on up, he could very easily be their number 2 behind Amon-Ra.
Yeah, well, with the skill set of Jameson Williams, it's like you know what he's going to do. And then Tesla and St. Brown kind of are tailor-made to be counterparts with that wide receiving core. So it's really well built.
And we love Jameson Williams as well. Love a speedster. And then Ahmad Hassanein is the only Egyptian-born player to play in the FBS, or the first, I should say. So shout out to him. We'll see what he does in the NFL. Not the most crazy production. Still got to build out his frame. But, you know, when you're the first at something, you get mentioned in our list.
He will be known as the Prince of Egypt from now on.
You goddamn right. Moving over to the NFC West, we got the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers had an off year last year, which means they get to pick up higher in the draft than they typically do, and they drafted a freak of nature.
They sure do, and he just happens to fit right into Robert Saleh's defense.
Oh, my God, he's going to make him so good. He's going to make him a problem for the league. The only thing that is holding him back is the time for him to grow into his frame and fill out this body that he has, because he's 6'4", 6'5", and freaky arm length that he can use to push off the offensive tackles, get around the edge, and cause some major problems at the NFL level. Super, super excited to see what he does this year.
Yeah, people were saying that this guy could go as high as 7 overall in the draft, ends up falling to the 49ers, and I don't think they hesitated to send that card in.
Bit of a project, but he's going to be well worth it when it's all said and done.
And in the Saleh defense, he emphasizes rotating that defensive line.
Yes, he does. And he did that very, very well with his time at the Jets. Alfred Collins is a stud. He spent a lot of time in a crowded Texas defensive line room. And as he moved his way up the roster, he was never the best at one particular thing, whether it be the pass rush or the run-stopping game, but he was so consistent in every aspect of being a defensive lineman. And as you mentioned, Robert Saleh focusing on the rotation of the line, this is another great addition for that.
Certainly. And just on top of that, stout actually means strong, and so any defensive lineman named Stout, draft him.
Done. Speaking of Stout, we got Upton Stout. He's twitchy, plays nickelback, anticipates route breaks. It's just a really, really solid pick to get in the 3rd round. Very excited to see what he does, especially with all those injuries floating around in the San Francisco secondary. He's going to have some fun and move his way on up. And all those guys, just learning behind Robert Saleh, this is the best position that you could be in probably in the NFL. Taking it over to the Arizona Cardinals. You want to talk about Waterloo real quick?
Walter Nolan's a stud. I love that he's going to have some time under Calais Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a great veteran to learn from, and there's really nothing stopping him from starting day one and being the Cardinals' starting defensive tackle for the next decade or so. The Cardinals have drafted a defensive tackle out of Ole Miss in the first round before, and it bit them in the ass.
Who dat?
I can't remember his name, but he
that's
was
a problem.
one of those troublemakers types, whereas like the athleticism was there, but is the mind going to be right? And
We don't like that.
yeah. So shout out to them for giving it another roll of the dice. But Walter Nolan is one thing, but I think the Cardinals really got to steal with Will Johnson.
God. He's
Cornerback
so
one.
He's so good. I know I said Siobhan Revel has the potential to be the cornerback one, but Will Johnson, man. I mean, if he didn't get hurt, we're talking about a top 10 pick.
I don't know how he fell all the way to 47, even if he is hurt, honestly.
It was just injury concerns.
He doesn't look hurt to me.
It was just injury. They were
doesn't look
worried
hurt.
about his knees, man.
Not the Cardinals.
Not the Cardinals, and they get a steal because of it. It always happens. There's always that injury bug that teams are worried about. I mean, it happened with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, where he fell into the second round, and this guy was arguably the best linebacker in his class. But yeah, Will Johnson, just a stud of a corner. Very, very excited to see what he does.
And this is a position for the Cardinals that they've kind of struggled to solidify since losing Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, and they've been looking for that true CB1 for a while, and now you have one.
You sure do. Yeah, I'm happy for them.
And then Birch as well, the physical pass rusher. He's going to rotate in on the defensive line. Should be much needed help with the Cardinals. Let's take it on over to Seattle.
Ooh, good team in Seattle.
I like Nick Eamon. I mean, they got Gray Zabel in the first. Love the big boys. We'll say it all the time. But Nick Eamon is just physical as hell for the safety position.
This was the winner of the combine.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Just freak measurements, freak athleticism. I'm pretty sure he had the highest athleticism grade for all secondary players.
Mm-hmm.
Big, fast, strong. He's got everything you would want in a safety, and he's in a very, very good position in Seattle to prove his worth.
He was running with the ones recently.
As he should be.
He's a starter.
As he should
100%. Be. So good for him. And good for them, because that means that with their first 3 picks, they drafted starters.
They absolutely did. Elijah Arroyo, let me check my notes real quick because I want to get their starting tight end's name correct. That's how bad that guy is. He's playing behind A.J. Barner. Who is that, you may ask? Exactly, I tell you. Elijah Arroyo will be starting by the end of this season. He is a very good pass catcher. He can block a little bit. It's not his strong suit, but he's better than a Colston Loveland, in my opinion. I don't do too much researching tight end blocking, but I would say from the little bit that I saw, he had at least a pancake, which Loveland never did.
This is what I'll say real quick before we move on about Arroyo. Watching Miami games last year, knowing that Cam Ward was going to be a top prospect, I was blown away by his athleticism and size. He looked like a dog out there. He looked like a man amongst boys out there.
Yes, I love that you mentioned that. Do you want to touch on a Jalen Milroe at all?
I actually really do. So I do not expect Jalen Milroe to get any starts this year. In fact, I don't even expect him to be quarterback 2 because of Drew Lock. However, when Sam Darnold was running with the ones, they brought in Milroe for like a 3rd and 1 quarterback sneak.
Yes, that is exactly what you should use him for all the time.
So I think that he's going to dress, and I do think that they're going to have some packages for him.
I love it, especially at the goal line, man.
Sure.
That's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to look out to. And, I mean, I still got some questions for Sam Darnold. You are moving into an offense that is much, much worse than the Vikings that you played with last year. You do not have the same wide receivers. You do not have the same offensive line. You do not have the tight end room like a TJ Hawkinson provides. Jalen Milroe might get in some games as a mercy kill, where it's like Sam Darnold has been dog shit today. Let's just say hypothetically. Let the rookie go out there, get some reps in the 4th quarter. Why the hell not?
I like Sam Darnold, and I hope nothing but the best for him. So I would love to see him have success in Seattle. And I think that bringing in Jalen Milroe for running the ball in certain situations is going to do wonders for them. And then even if Sam Darnold were to go down, it doesn't stop you from bringing those packages in, right? Because then Drew Lock becomes a starter, and you have the same thing. So then defenses are now planning for 2 or 3 different quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. That's
something they have to think about.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's a very, very good point. Let's take it on over to the LA Rams. This draft was just funny to me. I think the Rams were hoping, praying, begging on their knees for a Jackson Dart to fall to them, and he almost did. It was so close. The Giants had to trade up to the pick right before theirs, and they snagged him right underneath their noses. And then because of that, the Rams trade back with the Falcons. They let them go get up, take James Pierce Jr., and instead now they have to regroup and replan their entire draft strategy. I wasn't in love with this draft. I wasn't blown away by a whole bunch of their picks. They got some solid depth. The Rams do what the Rams do. They trade away their first-round pick almost every single year. They consistently draft depth. And, I mean, NFL teams are made in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. That is the primary bulk of your NFL team. Not everybody can be a first-round starter. There's only one first round. But there's 4 picks in day 3, and that's where a lot of that bulk comes. Josiah Stewart, touching on him real quick, he's an athletic pass rusher. He'll rotate in. Chris Paul Jr., undersized linebacker.
Not actually Chris Paul's son. Can we get that clear?
He is not, but they're about the same size. Just good linebacker depth. I would bet good money that this is probably their most productive rookie this season. And not a sexy draft, but it is what it is. You guys are consistently good. You do what you do. You know what you're doing better than we do.
One player I want to talk about is Terrence Ferguson, tight end out of Oregon. You mentioned it. They had a trade back. They do have Tyler Higbee going into his final year of his contract, and then they have another tight end, and I don't know his name. But what I'm saying is Terrence Ferguson is going to have a chance to develop under these two, if not become the number 2, and then possibly replace Higbee, because is Higbee a tight end that's worth another contract?
No.
I don't think so either.
No. Unfortunately. Go get your money somewhere. Someone in the NFL is going to pay you. Maybe it'll be the Seahawks because A.J. Barner is not it. Let's take it on over to the last division. We got the NFC South kicking it off with the Carolina Panthers and my favorite wide receiver from this past year. I love Tet McMillan, man.
Tet McMillan is the reason that I bought tickets to the U of A Colorado game, drove down to Tucson to watch him versus Travis Hunter in person, and I was not disappointed.
Nor should you have been. That's arguably the best cornerback wide receiver matchup that you could have seen all year long.
And they also played against each other prior to college in like some kind of high school like all-star game type thing.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Tet McMillan, though, he's big. He's that prototypical wide receiver 1 from like the 2010s and the 2000s.
He really is prototypical. You're right.
Big body, go get it type of receiver.
2 hands.
2 hands. He bullies smaller cornerbacks. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, yes, you're taking a step up with the NFL, but you still got that size over every single cornerback. I don't think there's a cornerback within 2 inches of you.
No, this cat's walking in as wide receiver 1, and Bryce Young is stoked about it.
Oh, yes. He's finally got his guy. This is a relationship that can make him blossom into a proper top 15 quarterback in the NFL, where he had been struggling to crack the top 20.
Also, you think about the Panthers the past couple years. Who's been the wide receiver 1? Adam Thielen?
Yep.
I mean, come on, dude. No one's going to lose sleep at night worrying about that.
Right.
Where now McMillan's going to open up the rest of the offense, including another rookie that I really want to mention, in Jimmy Horn Jr., who may not get starting time right away, but has been absolutely killing it ever since entering rookie camp, tearing it apart. The Panthers media is raving about him. There's word Adam Thielen's probably going to get traded, possibly could get traded. I could see the Vikings going to get him, honestly, to have him fill in while Addison is out type thing.
Yep.
Just bring back the homie anyways. But then you got T-Mac, you got Horn, you got Xavier Leggett, and one guy who's not a rookie that I got to mention, they have Hunter Renfrow.
Yes, they do. Oh, man.
He's one of the best route runners in the league.
He's nasty.
And, it's not
Derwin James gave him his props. I don't know if you saw that.
I did, actually. And it's not like he's been out of the league because nobody wants him. He dealt with a serious condition known as ulcerative colitis, and the last healthy season he was putting up top 10 wide receiver numbers.
Just nasty. And you mentioned it. Route running is the name of the game. Guys like a Ladd McConkey, who came in last year's draft, automatically a top 10 route runner in the NFL. Look at what he does.
Cooper Kupp.
There, another one. Damn, these white boys. But touching up on a Nick Skirton, he provides a much-needed pass rush help. And then a Travis Etienne's little brother, does it all. He'll block He'll catch. Don't let him return punts. We saw how that worked out. That was not good. But everything else, if you need him to be a running back, he can be a damn good running back.
So brothers are divisional rivals. We love that.
Love it. Let's.
Oh no, that's a lie. No,
that is Jaguars.
I messed that up. Yeah,
wrong South. Let's move it on over to the Saints. Didn't love this draft.
No.
I was actually really pissed off when they drafted Tyler Shaw. Tyler Shaw plays like he's scared to play quarterback. He's on this list because he has the potential to start. But if you remember Zach Wilson with the Jets, every time a blitz came, it was like a deer in the headlights. That is what Tyler Shaw is in a clean pocket. Like, we got a problem here. We have a serious problem here. I don't understand what you saw in this kid to be like, that's my second-round pick right there.
Yeah, instead of a Jalen Milroe?
Something like that. Anybody else. I mean,
a Dylan Gabriel?
I was about to say, even a Dylan Gabriel, I would have been like, it makes more sense. He's left-handed. I hate that, but it makes more sense. But yeah, not a sexy draft. Broughton played behind star players most of his career, but he's an instinctive rusher. I liked him. And then Danny Stutzman is nose to the grindstone type of linebacker. Your typical 2000. He reminds me of a Brian Cushing, where I'm gonna hit somebody as hard as I can. CTE is a mindset. Let's get down and dirty. Let me put my helmet into somebody's stomach.
Valhalla demands honor. One thing about the Saints is their offseason just screams tank.
Yeah. They're looking for an Arch. This is a great quarterback class that's coming in. Looking for an Arch Manning, looking for a Cade Klubnik.
Lenora Sellers.
Out of South Carolina, or the LSU kid. There's a lot of options for them. If they can get in the top 3, you're guaranteeing yourself a quarterback of the future. Spencer Rattler, don't let it happen.
Spencer Rattler.
Fight for your job. Go Pinnacle.
I do have faith in the head coach, so and I don't think that teams ever intentionally lose. I think that ownership and GMs may
try,
do their
but
best.
The players are not going to give up on their team and on their teammates.
The players have to put their play on tape.
Yes.
Right? So they're selling themselves.
I'm trying to make money somewhere else because fuck this team.
Yes.
Let's move on to the Falcons.
Great draft.
My God, do I love this draft.
Yeah. They went from blowing everyone's mind last year with the Michael Penix pick to they really knocked this one out of the park.
Just going through it. Jalen Walker was one of my favorite defensive players. Tweener measurables between linebacker and edge rusher. But with that being said, he can be your hybrid. You need him to rush the passer, he'll go rush the passer. You need him to cover the running back, he can do that. You want him to just play middle linebackers, stuff the run game, play out in zone, he can do it all. He's that do-it-all type of player. Loved him a lot. You go to James Pierce Jr., freaky pass rusher.
Top
so
10
much
talent.
fast. Top 10 talent. Why did he fall past the top 20? Character concerns? I don't know. Something along those lines. But the Falcons liked him enough to go up and trade for him.
Yep.
And then you move on to an Xavier Watts. Xavier Watts and Jesse Bates, that is a playmaking duo.
Xavier Watts is slated to start as well.
These two together are going to create so much havoc, so many turnovers. It's going to be awesome to watch all year long. And then, again, your 4th-round pick and a Billy Bowman Jr.
Stud.
That's your nickel corner. That's your 5th defensive back on the field anytime you need him.
And physical.
Very physical. I was about to mention, he gets his nose dirty in the run game as well. Not a whole lot of nickel corners can say that. Obviously, he is a safety, but he's got the ability to do both, which is huge. And then, they drafted an offensive tackle, but whatever. Yeah,
I do love when safeties come out of day 3 and end up switching positions to whether it be linebacker or corner type thing. I think, we've seen that. Just comes to mind, the Jets drafted Michael Carter III, and now he's the highest paid nickel in the league.
There you go.
They drafted Jamian Sherwood, who was a safety, and now he's got
one
a second contract as a middle linebacker, right? Like one of the league leading tacklers. So third day safeties can go a long way.
Taking it to our final team. Thank you for sticking around with us. We finally made it, and we're going to be talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay started off strong with getting an Emeka Egbuka in the first round, man. And somebody's so dangerous in the slot, being able to fill in while Chris Godwin is fighting that injury concern. I'm not even sure he's going to be out there for week 1.
I don't think so either.
Huge addition. if that is the case.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of people thought that this was a little rich for the Buccaneers to take him at 19, and a lot of people thought that he would be strictly in the slot. But from what I'm hearing, the Bucs are moving him around the field.
Mm-hmm.
Baker Mayfield's absolutely in love with him, has never been as impressed with a rookie, and we're talking about a veteran now, right?
Love that.
Baker's been
Baker's
around.
been in there for a minute.
I've watched Egbuka's combine interview, and when I listened to it, I was like, this is one mature dude right here.
Good.
In fact, I was so worried that he was going to end up on the Steelers in round two
always.
that I was like, this guy is destined to be a Steeler. He's so good.
Makes so much sense.
I'm happy for him that he went top 20. I'm happy that he landed in a place like Tampa Bay where they're going to pass the hell out of the ball.
Yep.
Baker's the man. Mike Evans is aging. Godwin has been hurt a lot. He's still really good, but, you know, not as reliable as you would like. So I think Egbuka is slated to take off.
Love it. Love everything about him. Talking about some of their other picks, Benjamin Morrison, potential to be great. Lockdown, Michael Harrison Jr. or Marvin Harrison Jr. A couple years ago in college. That was all the tape I needed to see to be like, this guy.
That was a great game. I recall that game. That was a lot of fun. That came down to the wire.
I liked everything I saw about him. And then just touching up on the last guy we got, Jacob Parrish. Jacob Parrish is not the biggest by any means. I believe he's 5'9", 185 pounds soaking wet. But when you're that small, you got to be a dog. And my God, is he a dog. We've talked about corners being afraid to get nasty in the run game. This kid is not afraid of anybody. And he's going to go after you play after play after play. Sweet. I loved watching his tape a lot.
Love to hear it. Can't wait to see what we got out of that Jacob Parrish guy. Great rookie class, honestly.
Yeah. A lot of people were saying it was a weaker class. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, you are actually notorious for saying, let them prove it. I don't want to hear this. This is a weaker class.
Exactly. I mean, it's so hard to just I shouldn't say it's hard. It's just so typical of the NFL media to be like, we're just going to tell you how to feel about this draft.
Mm-hmm.
Let the boys go out there and prove it. Ashton Genty is projected to be a top 5 running back this year, a top 10 running back this year. Let the boy go out and prove it.
Right. He was running wild in, the MAC conference or whatever the hell Boise State plays?
Exactly. Now you're going up against NFL defenses. You're taking NFL hits. He damn near broke his shoulder in preseason, taking his toughest hit. So let the boy go out there and prove it. This is a men's league, and the men will thrive. The boys will get weeded out. With that being said, though, guys, thank you for coming to the Sportiello Show. We are the Sportiello Bros. That was our NFC Rookies to Watch. We'll see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Take care now.